Extra Point with Jim Thunderbird and head coach Grant Redhead.
Welcome to the Extra Point, brought to you by Bryan Ford Lincoln. And Coach, a tough game the other night against Wauseon. First half wasn't too bad. Second half, boy, things kind of got away from you.
Yeah, we didn't get too many breaks, and the ball didn't bounce our way in the second half. We still had kids going to where they were supposed to go, but we got wore down. I mean, they were bigger and faster and stronger, and we're not a bad football team, but they're a better football team. And sometimes you come up against it like that, and you just keep trying, but no matter what you do, it's a tough road.
I know that wing tee is used quite a bit in high school football, but it still is a tough offense to defend.
Yeah, with having those two wings and using the toss outside and then coming back inside, they got us on a couple counters. We got a lot of sophomores. I'm starting 8 sophomores, and one of them ran inside and they came outside, on misdirection. So, it's a 15-year-old kid making a mistake.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. It's just not what I, would have liked, but I knew we had to play really, really well to beat them. And, we played okay, and they were just better.
Yeah. It's a team that came off of a loss that I think they thought they should have had a win the week before against Archbold. And I think we all know Coach Cooper pretty well. When you get a situation like that, got a team like he's got, you can get him focused for the next week pretty quick and pretty easy.
Yeah, they were trying to get right, and, he took a page from me and onside-ed, and, our kid tried to get out of the way, and we had guys there trying to get the ball, and it just took a funny bounce.
Yeah.
And, that hurt. After a touchdown, they kick off, they get it right back. Our defense, we ran 17 plays in the second half. That was it.
Yeah.
Defense was out there all night, and it's tough for them to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah. Offense couldn't get everything going. It didn't seem much that night. It was really tough to move the ball against those guys.
Yep, they were good. They were physical. We dropped several passes.
Yep.
We had some behind and some hit our kids right in the hands. And, there were 3 first downs for sure. I know we dropped on, third and medium. And we just, we can't look and worry about if we're going to get hit. We got to catch the ball, secure the ball. So we've worked on that this week. It is what it is. And, they were physical, so I think our guys were hearing footsteps sometimes.
Yeah, well, you do have that every now and then. You did score a couple times kind of creatively the other day, and I was impressed, though, with the defense, with the scooping up the fumble and taking off. It looked like you almost had a future wide receiver on your hands there, Coach.
Yeah, Matt does a good job, and, we work that. It's anytime the ball goes on the ground in practice, they try and scoop it, and instead of just falling on it. And, he did a good job, and everybody, unlike the one scrimmage, everybody stayed off and didn't clip. And, we learned a lesson early on that didn't cost us, and we got points off it in the game.
Yeah. Well, interesting ball game. It's behind you. It's always tough to win at Wauseon, no doubt about that. You're in an interesting spot right now in the league and in the season, I think, with your talent level and everything. And an obvious question I think that I have to ask, you got a quarterback who's a senior. You got a couple quarterbacks that are younger. Is there getting to be a time now where you start to think, maybe we ought to start letting a couple of the young guys get a couple Friday nights under their belts? Or when does that happen?
We want to get them some game reps, but we haven't had any that we've had a comfortable lead.
Sure.
Our 2 wins have been close. So, Zach's doing a great job.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to pull him because he's a senior and start planning for next year. We want to do as well as we can this year for our seniors. There are going to be some spots where we get some kids in, and we want to give them quality reps. We just need that opportunity, and the right opportunity's got to present itself.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, there's some tough games ahead, but there's a couple games that you might be able to get that done with. We got a big one coming up this weekend with Archbold. We'll be back to talk about that right after this timeout. Coach, we got an Archbold team this week, okay? The good news is we're back home, okay?
Yep.
Bad news is this is a football team that thinks that they can maybe even win this conference yet this year.
Yeah, they're very fast.
Yeah.
That's their team speed's the best thing they have. They do play physical, but they're not as big and strong as Wauseon or Liberty is. But, their skill positions are pretty good. They're coming in. They beat some good teams. So, we just have to, get out there, execute, do the best we can, and secure the football. We can't have any turnovers,
Yeah.
and limit them to big plays. Big plays have hurt us, 1 or 2 a game. Part of it's youth, part of it is tackling last week, and we've worked to correct that. We work to correct it every week.
Yeah. You work to correct all those things every week. I understand that, and I don't think most people can understand how much effort you, the coaches, and the kids put in practice. Every night, every week. It's easy to sit in the stands a lot of times, say, "Oh my gosh!" But then once you get out on the field and you see how quick some of these guys are, how hard they hit, even though they're high school kids, it's a whole different ball game executing and watching, for my money.
Yeah, it is, and that's the thing. The kids, the coaches, everybody, we try to do our best to win, and we go as hard as we can. But the thing about it is sometimes we're just not quite as good, and the kids give the best that they can, and so do we. But that's why it's a game and it's not decided. You play the game for the game itself instead of just saying, "Oh, let's show up and win."
Yeah, no doubt about that. Team speed has been a bit of an issue with you guys. So this team really presents maybe the toughest challenge you've had so far.
They do. If we take our angles and do the things, we're not bad with our team speed, but we've played a couple that have had some kids that can scoot, and when we let them get right out in the open, it's tough. They do present a problem. They're going to want to run the ball. We just can't let them get out in the open. We got to kind of hem them in and be good tacklers.
Yeah, the Peterson kid, the quarterback, basically is more of a running quarterback than a passing quarterback, and I say that. He passed a lot last year, but he had 3 times as many interceptions as he had completions last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is going to pass against you, but I think he's a big kid at 6'3" and about 200 pounds, and he's almost a tougher kid to bring down than he is to worry about throwing the ball over your head.
Yeah, he is a good runner, and that's what he wants to do. He'll keep it every chance he gets.
Yep.
We see that. The balls that he has thrown deep, the receivers do a good job making a play on the ball. He's not the most accurate passer, but he's not the worst. He is definitely a weapon if we stop him and the running back. Him and his brother, we've got a good shot. Make them try to beat us left-handed is what we do, and, not with their best plays. So.
Sure, no doubt about that. You're coming home, it's homecoming, that's got to be a plus, I would think.
Yeah, it's, like I said, we had a tough one last week. This week is no easier, but at least we're at home. At least it's where we're familiar. Maybe we can get some energy out of the homecoming vibe and everything. And, like I said, the kids are prepared and they're ready. It's just, we got to come out and we can't let the lights get to us and get overly nervous.
Yeah, no doubt about that. What's it going to take to get a W here for homecoming, Coach?
Well, we need a couple turnovers from them. And we really have to secure the ball. Then we just have to tackle.
Yeah.
And tackle and tackle. We can't give them any freebies. So, as long as we cut down on those mental errors and, play physical and we get a couple turnovers, that's going to help.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, it should be a good ball game. It's another conference game. Hopefully this is one you can get this week. And then you got another one at home, and then you got a couple of road games, but I know you don't look that far down the road.
No, it's 1 week at a time, and then next week we'll give that team all our focus and, go from there.
Sounds good. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Football's coming up right here on BMU Channel 3 and also on the Q 96.5 FM.